Imagine standing before a bridge stretched across a wide, endless valley. Mist curls around its ropes, wooden planks groan beneath the weight of the wind, and the other side is hidden in fog. You've walked miles to reach this bridge. You've dreamed of what's beyond it. Everyone told you that bridge is your chance. Cross it and your life will change. You place one foot forward, and the plank cracks. Another step, another snap. Before you can even breathe, the bridge collapses, plank by plank, rope by rope, until the valley below swallows it whole. Now you stand on the edge, staring at empty air where your opportunity once was, and you ask the question that every broken dream leaves behind. What do I do when the bridge I was counting on no longer exists? Daniel was no different from you or me. He was a man with ordinary days and extraordinary hopes. Born in a small town where everyone knew everyone else's stories, Daniel always believed his story would be bigger. He studied, worked hard, saved money, and carried dreams like sacred seeds in his pocket. People admired his persistence, even when they didn't understand it. But admiration fades. As the years went by, his friends built families, bought homes, posted smiling pictures. Daniel? He was still chasing the bridge he believed would carry him to his destiny. That bridge had a name. For him, it was an opportunity, a company he dreamed of working for, a chance that seemed like the doorway to everything he'd waited for. He applied again and again. Rejections came like rain on a leaking roof, constant, chilling, unavoidable. And then one day, the letter came. We'd like to invite you for the final stage. His heart leapt. The bridge was finally in sight. Imagine his preparation. Sleepless nights rehearsing answers, ironing his only good suit, rehearsing smiles in the mirror, whispering, "This is it." The morning of the interview felt like sunrise after years of storm. His bus ride was silent but electric, his hands trembling, his chest tight. In the lobby of that shining glass building, he felt both tiny and infinite. This was the bridge. This was the crossing. And for a few hours, everything went well. Questions answered, smiles exchanged, hands shaken. When he left the building, he could already taste victory. For 3 days, he refreshed his email like a man waiting for oxygen. And then it came. We regret to inform you, the bridge collapsed. Daniel didn't just lose a job opportunity. He lost years of hope condensed into one fragile plank of wood. He felt as if life itself had played a cruel trick. Why let me get this close just to take it away, he wondered. For days, he withdrew from the world. Calls went unanswered. Conversations avoided. At night, he stared at the ceiling, replaying every choice he had made. He felt like someone who had placed all his faith in a bridge that was never meant to carry him. Rejection isn't only pain. It's a heavy silence that tries to convince you that you were never good enough, that you should have known better. But here's the truth. Those whispers aren't the end of the story. They are the test before transformation. And for weeks, Daniel wrestled with them, not realizing that in the struggle itself, the seeds of his breakthrough were already being planted. There is a desert we all walk when bridges collapse. It is made of silence so loud it feels like screaming, doubt that coils in the stomach, anger that burns but has no firewood. Daniel walked that desert. He questioned every choice, every year, every sacrifice. He thought about giving up, taking a safe job, surrendering his dreams, becoming invisible in the crowd. He envied those who had chosen easy roads. He resented those whose bridges held firm. He was a man stranded on a cliff, staring at a gap that mocked him daily. And yet, in the silence of that desert, something stirred. One evening, the man Daniel wandered into the hills outside town. He found an old traveler sitting by a fire, a man who had seen too many roads, too many valleys. Daniel poured out his heart, the bridge, the collapse, the despair. The old man listened quietly, then said words Daniel would never forget. Sometimes the bridge breaks to force you to build wings. Daniel frowned. Wings? I don't have wings. The old man smiled. Neither does anyone, until they're forced to fly. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. The words echoed. He realized he had been waiting for bridges all his life, waiting for others to construct the path, waiting for permission, waiting for someone to open a door. What if life had broken this bridge not to punish him, but to push him to create his own? So he began. Slowly, painfully, with trembling hands, he built wings, not feathers and wood, but skills, resilience, courage. Instead of applying for another job, he built his own small service from the skills he had. Instead of hiding from people, he began sharing his failures online, telling others about rejection, turning pain into teaching. At first, nobody listened, but wings take time. Months passed. His small service grew. His words reached strangers who wrote back, Thank you, I needed this. One day, the same company that once rejected him reached out. They had seen his work. They wanted to hire him, not as an employee, but as a consultant. Daniel stood on the same cliff where the bridge had collapsed. But this time, he did not wait for planks. He spread the wings he had built and he flew across. Maybe you listening right now know what it means to stand before a broken bridge. Maybe your bridge was a job, or a relationship, or a friendship, or an opportunity you prayed for. You thought it would carry you across. You trusted it. And then it collapsed. Hear me, it didn't break to bury you. It broke to awaken you. Sometimes life removes the bridge because you were never meant to walk someone else's construction. You were meant to build wings strong enough to carry not just yourself, but others who will one day need your example. The collapse is not the end. It is the beginning. Call to action. So here's my question to you. What about your bridges? Which ones have broken in your life? Was it a job, a dream, a relationship, or a chance you thought would carry you across? Remember this, the bridge didn't collapse to bury you. It collapsed to awaken you. You are not at the end of the road. You are standing at the beginning of flight. So don't wait for another bridge to appear. Build your wings. Start with what you have, where you are, and let the fall become your rise. And if this story spoke to you, then take a deep breath right now and say to yourself, I am ready to build my wings. Because your new chapter begins the moment you believe it. Before we close, let's take a moment to reflect on what this story teaches us. 1. Rejection is not the end. A broken bridge is not failure, it's a redirection. Waiting keeps you stuck. Don't wait for perfect opportunities. Create your own. 3. Pain plants the seed of growth. The struggle that hurts you today can become the strength that carries you tomorrow. 4. Your story inspires others. By sharing your journey, you give courage to people walking their own broken paths. You were never meant to crawl. Life doesn't stop at the collapse. It pushes you to discover your wings. Carry these lessons with you because the bridge you thought you lost may have been the reason you learned to fly.